Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Chuckle Spaces. We do this every single week at 4 p.m. UTC on Tuesdays. This week, it's on a Tuesday. How's it going? Allow us a couple of more minutes before we pull up all the speakers on stage and begin our space. Today, we're talking about personal AI, one of my favorite topics, actually, because personal AI has so many dimensions. We can take this conversation to a bajillion different dimensions. And I can't wait to do it because there's a lot to be said about personal AI. There's a vast future, so to speak. Swade, I've approved your request to come up on stage. You still don't come up for some reason. Please make sure to rejoin the space. Sometimes spaces rug. We experience difficulties on spaces because I don't know what's wrong with them. It's just sometimes I approve a request and the the speaker is still not up, so it requires you to rejoin. If you are not up within a minute or so after you've sent in the request, I'm monitoring them very closely. If you're not up in about a minute or so, please make sure to close the browser, rejoin, close the app, rejoin again, and request again because I don't know what's wrong with it, but it sometimes works like that. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing indeed. Let me approve all other requests. Allow me a couple of more minutes. Meanwhile, we've got the Chuckle CEO himself, Mr. Richie. Do I call you Richie? How's it going?
Hi guys, how you doing? Richard Thompson is the name.
Richard Thompson. Nice. Very iconic name, actually. Uh, very, what would you say? Placeholder name?
English background. Thanks a lot for everyone joining.
Thanks, sir. Glad to have you here. Hopefully, we'll get a good take from you as well. Before we dive in to today's topics, let's go around the room and introduce some of our prominent speakers. Johnny, welcome. Thanks for jumping in. How's it going?
No, thanks for having me. It's always great to be on these spaces. And for those that don't know, we have a full stack creative platform specializes in music, but we secure IP and offer a number of different solutions for artists and creators. So definitely looking forward to this one for sure.
Nice. Glad to have you, sir.
Thank
Asset
you.
Swap. Hello. How's it going?
Hey everyone, I'm Bolly representing the Asset Swap. This is my second time here. Nice to be back. As Asset Swap is an AI trading platform, today's topic is really close to my heart, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Awesome. Thank you for joining. I really enjoyed having you last time with us. Let's welcome Black Dragon Rhyme. Long time no here, brother. How's it going for you?
Doing well, bro. How are you? I don't
I'm doing
this is a
good,
new
thank you.
account. I
Oh
don't
yeah, well,
recognize this emoji.
Chuckle or
Ch- yeah, Chuckle. I guess it just caught me off guard. I'm just processing it
oh.
in real time. But I guess we're not here for my Twitter observations. So we are, as mentioned, we're Black Dragon. We come from the Near ecosystem, which is the blockchain from AI. Been building for AI since day one. Founder Ilya Polasukin is also the co-author and, from most accounts, the lead author in the Transformer papers, which is the T in ChatGPT. So big AI people over here, really trying to bridge that gap between the builders and the creatives, and we see ourselves as a sandbox and ultimately the community and social layer of Near. So we look at ourselves as a first touch point and a conduit for culture and facilitating, whatever it is that experience that you want to have in Web3, which is, ultimately a create your own adventure.
All right. Dragon is near indeed. Can't wait to hear your takes as well. Love to have you, sir. AI layer. Speaking of AI layer community. Hello. How are you feeling today?
Yeah. Hi everyone. Yeah. So Neon there. Yeah. Um. So I go by Commando and I lead business development at AI Layer. The very first Bitcoin layer 2 focused on scaling centralized AI infrastructure. At AI Layer, we're combining Bitcoin's robust security with the computational needs of AI to provide scalable and modular infrastructure that support a wide range of AI services. Yeah. In short, that's what we do. Thanks for
Awesome.
having me.
Nice, clean, and concise. Thank you. Thanks for joining. We're
Yeah, bro.
experiencing some technical issues here. Shiv came up and then went down, but hopefully he'll be back. We also have his backup account, EFAS. So maybe speak from that as well, Shiv, because we've got. Oh man,
Mic check. Mic check.
yes,
Coming in.
we can hear you. How's it going, Shiv?
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm in between, like, I was on a call from one airport, and then my other earphones were in for an AMA I was in before this, while I'm overseas on vacation. So you need to know how much I love you, Daddy Phil, to
Yeah.
still make this only 4 minutes late. But that being said, thank you guys so much for having me on. Quick intro from our end for those of you that don't know. The EFAS ecosystem is home to our flagship title, Pax Autocratica, which is a base building FPS with roguelite elements where you can command your own totalitarian state in humanity's darkest hour. That being said, very happy to be up and excited to get into some insights.
Man, do I love you. I'm moving to Sweden next month, so hopefully I'll get to see you somewhere in Europe, man. It's gonna be super cheap for me to travel then. So hopefully I definitely have to see you. It's like I feel like I know you already.
I
All right,
mean, we
let
have
me
spent like a lot of hours together, to be fair.
we sure have. We sure have. Yeah. I don't think I spend as much time with my family as I do with you. Priorities, I guess. We've got PAI3. Pradeep, how's it going?
Doing well, thank you. GM, everyone. Great to see familiar faces, new faces here. And thank you for inviting me to this X space. I'm Pradeep. I'm the CEO of PAI3 Network. We are an edge AI container network designed to facilitate privacy-preserving AI for businesses and for consumers, particularly focused on those who cannot afford to upload their private information or their client information to SaaS-based systems. So if you're a doctor, you couldn't possibly upload your patient files into OpenAI or XAI. That would be both unethical and illegal. So allowing them to run containerized AI environment, allowing them to invite their patients to interact with very personalized AI is our mission. So we can basically use AI to serve rather than control. And I'm looking forward to hearing from great speakers here. Shiv's here, Miyai is here, many others that I know. So thank you for having us here, and look forward to getting engaged here. So let's get started.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's rush through the remainder speakers. We've got Miai K directly from Prague. Go ahead.
Hey guys, again, thank you for inviting me. So I am Kay, and I am basically the project lead for MII. We are a startup company out of Prague, and we basically build AI agents and workflow automation for Web2 companies and SaaS businesses. And MII is our first Web3 project. Basically, she's like a source protocol for creator specific, like a specific agent centric from that side. But the plan down the road is to make her an agentic AI system that can handle multiple AI agents, and where creators can come and create their own automation tool, and be able to sell with Web3 infrastructure, and rent out or even provide it as a service for any use case. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right.
Excited
Welcome.
about today's topic. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for joining. And last but certainly not least, Andrew from People. People, how's it going?
Hey, GM, how is going, fam? All good, all good. So we are People. We are a meme coin, but we have a lot of utility that we offer. We specialize in trading and to also to all side of search engine, education, terminals, copy trading, and sniper, anti-transfer, everything that it's in the trading tranches, we got it. Thanks for having me. So
Cool
let's
stuff.
start it.
Thanks for joining. That is it for our space today. I'm just kidding. Let's dive in. But before we do, Mr. Ritchie, would you be kind enough to introduce what Chuckle is for those listeners that don't know?
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. So, firstly, let me thank you all for joining. I'm actually in St. Martin right now, on holiday. So I only unfortunately have maybe
I
10.
can feel the waves, man. I can feel the waves. I've been to Curacao, never been to St. Martin, but
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
probably heaven on earth.
Yeah. So basically, I only have 10 minutes to chat to you guys because I have to go and catch a sailboat. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, the problems of being a Web3 founder. We
Yeah,
get every.
but
Oh my
I
God,
would.
your mic is somewhat out of tune. Speak again, please. It's
You hear me
getting
now?
really
Is that better?
yes. Now it's good. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so just to dive into it, Chuckle was actually a meme coin that was started about a year and a half ago. And the founders have been in this space. I've been in this space about 8 years, but more as an investor and a trader. Um, my background on top of crypto is oil and gas. My family has been very much involved in the oil and gas business for 46 years, 47 years. And I was quite shocked how dynamic this space was. And of course, when I first got into Bitcoin, I bought ridiculous things. I didn't even know what they were. Didn't know anything about data analysis, didn't know anything about trends and what Ethereum was or what Sol was, or I had no idea. I bought ADA pretty early. Didn't even know what I was buying. I was just told to buy ADA. And anyway, it just developed over a period of time where, myself and some friends got together globally and we said, look, let's start a meme coin, but let's start a meme coin that means something, meaning that let's go after the rug pulls and, represent the good side of crypto rather than, it just launch a token that means nothing. It's a picture of a slice of pizza or whatever it is. So of course, I, as a founder, and I have three other founders, but I'm the main shareholder. And I said, guys, if we're gonna do a meme coin, I need to have utility. And they said, well, that doesn't really go hand in hand. And said, well, I don't really care what other meme coins do. I want to make a difference. So if I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to come up with utility. And then we developed a AI bot that has been functionally working for some time now called Doris. And it's really built out and built out and built out to the point where she has a sassy personality, quite a funny, great sense of humor. And our devs, well, the head of my development team, he's one of these guys that are very shy. He lives behind a computer, and I tried to get him to join the space because, like I said, I only have a limited amount of time. But he more or less could do any personality. If you want a genius AI or someone that is specializes in cooking or a chef or pretty much anything, any type of personality that you can build out. And I know a lot of you guys have been involved in AI pretty long. And it could be a little complex to do these things and get it right. So we've built out Doris, which I'd love if you checked out. But what we intend to do is right now we're testing an app that we're going to launch globally, that basically will be a friend of the crypto space rather than, not educate. So the idea really is to educate people that don't know much about crypto. And of course, if you hold Chuckle coins, you get a certain package of using the bot free of charge. And then if you like it, then obviously you contribute towards the project. But we've only launched about 2 months ago. We launched on Maxi, and that was challenging, to say the least. But we've launched on Maxi, and we're in this space. We're in this space to make a difference, and we're in this space to learn. Because of course, I know a lot of you guys are probably a lot more experienced than I am on the AI platform. But every time I join these AMAs and meet new people, I find it really exciting. So I don't know if any of you guys have some questions, but that would give you an idea of the project.
As I also know, Rich, that you have an approach in the team, and this goes to overall the team of Chuckle, that you're approaching this from a business perspective. And I've talked with Jay, who is also a co-founder of Chuckle, and the way he talks, the way he carries himself, the way he looks at business processes, the space overall, what he wants to do in Web3 overall. I like that approach, I have to say, because you approach the project and overall the space as a legitimate business, and you want to build a business instead of just a meme coin. Do you share that? Because you said, I mean, you're in the oil before, your main expertise. So it's very refreshing on one hand. Do you think it's a good? Do you think that gives you an advantage or a disadvantage? What do you think?
That's a good question because, when you talk to guys that have been in the meme space for years, they basically say it's more of a story you're telling than anything else, and you're creating excitement and community-based networks, which I'm fine with. But Jason, who's actually one of the global heads at Saatchi and Saatchi for years, and he has his own advertising company called Mama Pool now, which is, I mean, he's highly creative. Some of you might know
He was
his.
in Saatchi? Really? Damn.
Yeah, he was the global director. Yeah, he was in charge of Europe, and yeah, so he's very strong in the marketing front. But he also has relation to, some of you might know, Sam Mendes, the director. So Jason and I have been good friends since we're kids. So he's like a brother to me, and his thinking of approaching Chuckle as a business rather than just well, I wouldn't say all meme coins are not businesses. I'm just saying his thinking is out of the box, and so am I. But the idea really is, we have software that, I mean, most of you guys are crypto guys, right? So you understand how to track wallets and how to follow online data and those type of things, and spot rug pulls.
Not me, Rich. They do. I'm a very dumb trader. I don't trade at all.
No, but I mean, you could, it's just hard because, rug pulls are horrible, horrible projects, and there are a lot of new people joining crypto that would, buy into these projects and get rug pulled, and it becomes a heartbreak for them. You have a lot of younger, dynamic people investing in these things. And $1,000 to them is a lot of money. Or $500 to them is a lot of money. So, um, I I just thought I had to act, and genuinely act and genuinely educate. And that's what Doris is about. I mean, Doris basically is not just a personality. It could scan full networks and, tell you multiple points of data. And it's quite complex. We spent thousands of hours developing her. So it's not an easy bot AI technology that we've developed. So if any of you guys want to reach out directly to me for to merge projects or to use this specific type of AI technology, please do. You can direct message me. I'm not the kind of guy that doesn't listen and doesn't learn. I mean, of course, I've been approached since we've gone live by quite a few scammers, but I could spot them a mile away now. So I've had a lot of money stolen from me, but I've also made a lot of money as well. So it is what it is. It's part of this space. But I'm not naive, and I'm not I've been successful as a businessman for years. Um, so yeah, that without talking too much, I mean, I know I only have a limited amount of time because my entire family is waiting on me to go on this sailing yacht. So I don't know if you guys had any specific questions.
We'll see if we have any specific questions. Not for now, but appreciate you jumping on, or Rich, especially if you're on vacation. I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, glad we got you to at least on one of the spaces. Hopefully, we'll get you more next week. Enjoy your vacation. It's I'm sure it's much needed. Meanwhile, we'll start talking about personal AI. I'm really curious about this. Before we do, though, asset swap and AI layer, I see you in the listeners. Please make sure to rejoin the space and send in your request to speak, because I can't pull you up. I'm accepting your request, but you still don't come up for some reason. It's really weird. The spaces are rugging. Be angry at Elon Musk, not me. Let's dive into today's topic. Today's topic is personal AI. Just because of the sheer number of speakers, please, let's do this through a show of hands. Raise your hand. I'll call on you if you want to contribute with your opinion, with your take. I'll call on you, and feel free to provide your take. My first question is, if AI becomes a personal layer, let's say it's like a sidekick or a mirror, in a software that knows everything about you, especially when we're talking about um, early AI, like say something that has been with you for years, right? I mean, you can already do that, even today. What kind of personality should it have? Should it match your vibe, your values, or just your goals? What should it be like? How should we even think about a personal AI in the future? Start with 3NS, and then we'll throw it over to Shift. Go ahead, ENS. Excuse me, 3NS. You see, you got to rename your service, man.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. I think it's a good idea. Yes, hello everybody. I am Alex from 3NS. I'm community manager, and we are building the .web3 domains. And these domains, they are not just domains, as expected. These are AIs. So there will be AIs connected to your domains. In these domains, they will learn from the links you will provide, from the training you provide in the background. They will connect to all your personal data, or all your hobbies data, or all your favorite teams data, to not only get the information from there, but from all the training you can give it in the background that will be private. And then you can have a front facing chat or a bot that will communicate with your customers, with the people interested in the same hobbies that you, or your favorite team. And as they connect to this website, they will talk to that AI that is knowledgeable of all the links that you gave it, including real time. If you update your website to add a new product, if you say something on your public uh, social media profile, the AI will know about it, will be aware of it, will be able to communicate with the person there. We're using all this information in real time, independent of whatever subject you choose to be. So This AI will be intimately connected to all the information you decide to give it. Say you want to give it your CV, a link to a doc that's your CV, for example. It will read that, will incorporate that into any chat it might have. You can give it to a client and chat virtually to you through the AI that will have that information. So we really believe that AIs are here to facilitate connections, whatever be it the subject you choose your .web3 domain to be. You can then train it in any way that you want with any data that you want. And of course, if in the future you wish to sell your .web3 domain, that NFT information, um, your you can do it if, and of course your private information will be safe, your private chats that you had will be safe, but the training and the links and the customers that already talked, or the people interested in the same in the same domain that you were, all that information will be passed on and will be available for others to use. And let's say if it's a personal AI for yourself where you're feeding your own personal information, uh, yes, the AI will be able to talk as you do, and read your chats and read your social media posts and talk with your personality. In terms of personality, you can then choose to train it. That's the most important thing. Choose to train and to give it the traits that you wish. You will be able to tell it how to behave. I think that's the most important thing, to have the option, not just for the AI to decide how it will be front facing, but what information, how it should react, what kind of personality traits it should have. Um, and of course you use these private chats to it, or these internal training tools to make sure you can refine it, and you're not limited to one model. You actually can use internally several models that you can alternate in real time. So you can be having a chat with Gemini, you can then switch to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT what you think of the answer that Gemini gave. And then you can switch to the next model. So, do you have anything to add? You disagree with it? It's something that is rarely done, but you're able to do it through 3NS and our Web3 domains. So, we're really looking forward to seeing everyone joining and checking it out. You can check it out for free. We're in testnet for now. You can go in, create your profile, create your Web3 domain, create your NFT, mint it, check out all the chat models, start building, customize your page. You have a link tree that thinks, because you can add your links there, and people use it like a link tree where you can just share that page and people have not only your links but talk to your AI. So really excited about it. And yeah, create your own personality, or any person's personality. If you want to create Trump's personality, Elon's personality, any politician, any person that you admire, you can even then make it talk like them. It's all depending on your training, and I think this is what we're here for, isn't it?
Yes,
Back to you
sir.
guys.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for jumping on. Could personal AIs replace social feeds as our primary interface for culture or even content? What happens when an AI is curating entire online experiences? Very interesting questions to ponder on. Let's hear what Shiv has to say. Shiv, over to you.
Sure. Would you like me to take the former question or about personal AIs replacing social feeds?
Whichever you feel comfortable with.
Sure. I'll try to hop on between both before making my rant 10 minutes long. But I think the first question you asked is very important because one way or another, almost everyone is starting to rely more and more on AI, be it basic LLMs, be it devs for more detailed or intricate toolkits. And I think that's creating a world where everyone from a grandma that's never really understood detailed code to someone that's actually developing on products ends up having this dependent sort of system. Now, when you have that and you're dealing between should it be something which is more vibe affiliated to you or more goals oriented, I think it really ends up being the best of both worlds, at least when needed. So, if you look at something like it becoming a personal layer, something that you've had for years, you need to understand if I'm in a creative space, if I'm a writer, if I'm a poet, if I'm in a flow state where even as a developer, ideas are coming to me, the AI should be able to mirror that vibe. For example, when I am brainstorming, be it campaign ideas, be it BD ideas with AI, it's always nice when it has certain lingo I use or understands how I think and puts that personalized element in there, because that does bring out more creativity. It does validate ideas in a much more personal way that deadpan AI probably can't do. Now, that being said, I think if you're in a space where you're just drifting or unmotivated, it should be something which acts as almost a compass, which means that you're able to have direction, you're able to have motivation that comes out of it. But all this is still secondary to what the long term goal is, which is actually completing the work. So I think in that sense, it needs to be more of a guide than just a yes man, because the issue with, I'd say, ChatGPT today, which is something that I was actually seeing on the news here yesterday, was that it's designed for user satisfaction. It's not really designed for getting the most accurate information out. So that's why it's very divergent in nature and not convergent. What that means is it's very good if you give it variable X, Y, and Z and want it to come up with variable A to Z. But if you give it a lot of variables and ask for the one right answer, it's even if it's not able to compute that, it's just going to give it to you for your user satisfaction, which I understand why OpenAI and the big AIs globally do for capitalistic reasons, but that's not the best for, I mean, AI being the underlayer to businesses and the economies of the world growing in the long term. So, in a nutshell, I would just put it as it should be a balance between what helps you think, what helps you creatively, but also more importantly, what guides work output in an accurate and effective manner. I think given that it understands you, it should be able to not just be an echo chamber. Because what very often happens with ChatGPT is if you don't train it enough, if you aren't skilled enough in inputting parameters, you're going to end up having an AI just become an echo chamber of you, which is probably nice in the next 10 seconds, but definitely isn't going to be helpful in the next 10 months. I'll leave that at that. Now, remind me, the next question was, do you, what happens when
So
AI
the
becomes
next
your...
question
Mhm,
is yes. So when we have a personal AI that
mhm,
is so personalized that
mhm,
it can know exactly what you like, exactly
mhm,
what you want to see at all times, how do we like
mhm,
what happens to the human experience? And I know this is a
mm,
very profound question, but let's
mhm.
try to answer that.
Sure, sure. I'll mentally doodle across my through my words. So I think it is almost inevitable in some sense where us as users, us as people are going through a massive like paradigm shift where these AIs aren't just going to be filtering your feeds. They are going to effectively be like a vehicle or this layer of interference between you and the internet. Now, the first important thing which I'd say is the basics of social media or social media feed is in the format of a broadcast, which means it's one too many. It's one starting point and it goes to many, which is basically assembled, amplified, and spread out through algorithmic code, which has been there from beforehand. Now, AIs, at least today, are more one to one. They're more adaptive, they're more context rich. I mean, an example of this would be, say, instead of me personally scrolling X to see which favorite influencer of mine that posts about hyperliquid, I'd be able to have my AI summarize, filter, and explain the top three of this. We're already seeing elements of that. Data scraping does need to improve. Some toolkits need to be put together, but I think we're definitely getting there. So it almost becomes into a space where your feed itself becomes um, a briefing sort of element, and where when you're interacting with AI, that becomes your personalized meal. Now, the beauty of it is that AI, as it improves, will be able to almost contextualize things. Where, as a user, when I'm scrolling and I want to learn more about global matters, if my AI understands me, if my AI has dealt with me for months and years of conversation, it almost understands my overarching sentiments, my understanding of certain matters, and it's able to compound that data very effectively. Now, if you, how do I put this as an analogy? Maybe if you look at the feeds today as a fire hose, and you're having AIs almost turn them into distilled, washed down updates. So, for example, for example, before this earlier today search, what's trending in my on-chain circles? It, what Solana project might match my on-chain behavior? In that sense, I'm not going to be able to need to read 50 tweets. I'll just be able to talk to my feed. And that element of taking the one to many element of social media and packaging it and positioning it, I have a really nice mental image. I just wish I could show it to you guys, but I'll try to put it in words. In the sense of where the entire AI process gets compounded into that one package, and your entire feed exists through that one box. Now, I think the fun of it is if you think of industries like Web3, where in a space like this, my wallet is almost my identity. The NFTs someone bought 6 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 1 year ago tell users something about their identity, tell the public something about that. Now, as an artificial intelligence agent can start to understand what I hold, what I do, what my behavior is, what my risk profile is, be it the games I play, be it the DAOs I voted in, be it just the on chain purchases I've made, be it the off ramps I've done, this will almost turn that AI into a social filter which always has context awareness. And the issue is that today's systems are recommendation engines, but not effective in doing that. They're almost blinded. So once we have AI truly integrate into these industries, you're not only going to have effective outputs in the sense of the user understanding issues or understanding what's going on, it's actually going to be able to take the user from output A to output B in a way where today he might have to go through three other detours to get there. Now, I'll sum it up by saying that the way I would say Google or Yahoo almost replaced the sense of directories, personalized AIs will replace that distributed sense of social media. It's not going to replace it with a new system or with unnecessary noise, but it's going to be almost agentic or agency driven alignment. And I think that isn't going to kill the scrolling culture, but it's just going to make it more direct and more conversational, which, if done correctly, is almost going to be a massive value boost and efficiency optimizer for the global social media industry.
Okay, that is an amazing, amazing take. Thank you so much, Chef. And one thing I want to zone in on is if we're getting fed like a, let's say, so this is really difficult to predict, and this part of the human curiosity, because the human curiosity is when you have 10 different types of content on Twitter. Let's say you're scrolling through Twitter through different types of content, whether it's articles, jokes, memes, informational videos, facts, whatever else. And then something grabs your attention. That thing, that instant, that phenomena, when something grabs your attention, and you decide to check it out. You decide to click on a video on YouTube that you've never watched before, and it's seemingly, and on the surface, it's not within your interest area, but you would not be against watching something and learning something new. That part, Chef, do you think that like AI can learn exactly when we will want what type of content to be introduced to us? Do you get what I'm saying?
I think it's definitely possible, but I mean, it's also scary, right? Because the ideal, I mean, utopic version of this is that there's a balance of agency in a personal sense and a balance of optimized output in a sense of AI. But there's a really nice quote which I'm forgetting, which basically says that AI was meant to handle all the mundane chores so we could have creative spirit,
Right, right,
not be the
right.
other way around. But that's essentially what's happening more and more in creative roles and for people that have divergent sort of professions. So I'd say the ideal version is where there is still ranges. I mean, it's almost like free will versus fate debate, which I used to do in like my philosophy classes. But I'd say it's a version of reality where I, as user X, am able to choose what my goals are able to choose what my next step in my career or in any scheme of progression is going to be, while still being able to have these systems of AI which are able to supercharge or superpower that journey from my starting point.
Yeah, and it is a philosophical thing, right? It is. It's a. I remember you were mentioning even Hegel. We went as far as to Hegel one time with you, so you know, uh, we never know where the
Trust me,
conversation takes us.
you don't want to get the philosophy student in me out because I mean like I've read Meditations like 4 times and it's still like right in front of me and I'm gonna read it to sleep tonight after I'm done with work.
Listen,
So
man, my name is Daddy Phil for not for no reason. Daddy Phil signifies philosophy. Actually, I'm not named Phil. Uh,
no way, are you
so
serious?
yes,
For real?
exactly.
Or are you messing
Yes,
around?
yes.
So you're Daddy
No, no, no.
Philosophy? That's sick.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
never gonna
sir.
call you Phil again. I'm gonna
Exactly.
call you Daddy Philosophy.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, this is yeah, it's a nice coincidence. But yeah, guys, again, to all the speakers, I don't see hands. I only see Miai's hand. So if you have anything to add to the ongoing conversation, please raise your hand. We don't have all the time in the world. We're only here for the hour. I want to be able to give all of you, ideally, a space to talk. Miai, let's hear it from you, and especially with the regards to memes. Memes are one of the most expressive formats today online. Do you imagine personal AIs learning your meme language, like your humor, your irony, or your cringe thresholds, even?
Yeah, so I will try to touch most of the points in this case. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me just think of it a little bit because you asked a
Collect
new
your
question now.
thoughts, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So but I'll start from this. Okay. So if an AI has been with you, because I think this you mentioned this part most of the time, I've heard it from you. If AI has been with you for years, or watched you like growing up, failing, succeeding, and even restarting in life, then it can't just be a software, because that is how we're still taking it until this. I mean, of course, it hasn't been too long yet, but that's how it's still considered, as something like software. And I think it needs to become something closer to a mirror with your memory if we go through that phase. So the question would be, what should it know? No, sorry, the question shouldn't be what should it know, and instead we should focus on what it should value in this case, right? Like what it should consider the most important thing for you is like that needs your
Right. Is the
view.
journey the
Yes.
destination, though?
So for me, the ideal, let's say, personality layers are like, for example, any AI. I think even now, of course, ChatGPT and Grok, every one of them, they're like in a rat race, like space time era. Everyone is just trying to compete. So I don't think we will go to that direction unless something changed and everyone in the world agreed, okay, let's use AI for something different. But like at least they should have like three core traits back to them, like inside them, like it's not just an interface. This is more like, the first one would be, for example, loyalty alignment. So it has to be very loyal to you, the AI that you're using. It could be for anything, you creating a meme project or in your day-to-day life. So that means it doesn't just optimize for your behavior, but it's also prioritizing long-term goals. For example, like that includes your day-to-day life, businesses, any kind of projects that you're creating, even when, let's say, your short-term habits disagree. That is the most important thing. For example, a good thing, I like to go to the gym. So let's say you wake up in the morning and you're feeling lazy, or let's say you don't want to smoke. Sometimes you want to smoke. Like this kind of habits, like you're still taking charge by yourself. But this AI would be able to eliminate all of this, knowing who you are and how you think during this time. And that's the second layer, would be the contextual memory in this case. So in this case, it will be focusing more of, not that you searched this, but instead it will be, you were, let's say, anxious when you searched for this specific thing. This can apply for many, very many different, like, stupid things that we all humans do. So we're talking about emotional embeddings in this case, behavioral targeting, and also always checking on your behavior. I know it could feel weird a bit when AI is always looping in into your day-to-day things, but yeah. And even like now Elon is also doing it with the neural links, right? But again, it's controlled by Elon's company. So again, that is maybe the problem, but the technology is still perfect. So having, let's say, a neurosymbolic tracing of your decision patterns over time. So for example, you have an implant in your head and it will always know exactly what you've done. Like it's like an AI within your vision. That is also something cool, I think. And then the other layer would be the shadow functionality. So but it has to follow this, and you can add many layers to this, but these three, I think, I would say, in my opinion, are the most crucial and hard to implement, because it interferes with let's say, capitalism in general. And then, so let's say
Wow.
that with
Damn.
this shadow functionality, if you let's say, if it should know how to, let's say, stand down, or be
So you have
invisible
like
when
a
you need
little
space.
Jung in your head, always knowing exactly what you want and what you don't want, and how to
Yes.
get there. So do you think that so okay, help me understand this. You're saying the neural network, that the
Yes.
neural link that Elon is creating, if we pair that with a very smart AI, they will be able to know exactly when you have that critical thing, when you want to smoke a cigarette and you're
it's
trying to
it's even
quit.
with drugs. Like, let's say you will
Yeah.
never be addicted to drug. Even that's
Wow.
technically how it would
Damn.
work.
Never thought
And
about this. This is amazing.
even alcohol. Let's say you know that you want to drink sometimes, but let's say you are, let's say, a bodybuilder
Right.
and you
Yeah. So you
don't want
know,
to,
like what excuses
discipline.
work, for
Yes.
example, at that specific time. Yeah. 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 I get that.
So you don't need to,
Wow.
like, a David Goggins motivation music to go to the gym. That AI is there just eliminating. And a good example will be even in DAOs. Let's say in Web3, you enter a DAO place, and your AI twin basically can consider them not as a software but as a twin. It's basically you, but with clear purpose and power, right? And it doesn't negotiate with anything. So it automatically, like, let's say your twin already knows, like it already filtered who who is bad, who's good, based on the real, like, what is beneficial for you. And then it protects you also your mental health, right? For example, if you're addicted to trading, you don't
Hmm.
overspend your money and things like this. And
Right.
I think the
Damn.
AI, like, shouldn't be that copies you, but it kind of grows with you. So imagine having an implant as a child, and then it grows with you, and you have that powerful AI within your brain that limits, like, prohibits you from making any kinds of mistakes. That's the point.
Damn. Damn. That is awesome. Dude, I mean, it has so many implications. I'm already thinking about so many things. I've never thought about it in that, let's say,
Yeah, and
biological
last point is, but
sense.
if you don't
Yeah.
build it now, like if no one builds it now, because someone else will build it, and most likely, big corporation will build it, like OpenAI or Grok or everything. And
Yeah.
whenever it's being built by them, because they have the power and money and unlimited resource, they will not give it this way. They will control it
Yeah,
from their
we'll
side.
have that Black Mirror episode where they're saying ads like purchase this beautiful, or the Truman Show. Rich, I'm seeing you unmute. Did you want to chime in?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No, some interesting conversations. Yeah. No, that's pretty much why we created Chuckle, because we realized how critical it was. to get tapped into the AI area. The tech that's coming out could control everything. And I just, we have different agents we're rolling out. And those specific agents would be geared to servicing different human needs. If it's teenagers or if it's educational bot or whatever is required, but it's really critical that you get it right, because what could happen is that someone gets attached to this AI tech and they become more introvert, or you know our technology allows memory and allows emotion and allows the critical ability to control things. So where do you stop? As a dev, you have to stop somewhere. You have to be careful what you promote and be careful what you communicate, especially to the younger people. We just don't want it to go horribly wrong. And Chuckle was really formed to stop that from happening, to stop the bad people getting to these kids and getting to these teenagers and these next gen that get influenced in their own way on social media and that type of stuff. So yeah, I mean, the conversation everyone is bringing up is spot on, basically.
Yeah, it's a wonderful conversation. It's amazing. I wish we had more time to have everybody's take. This is super interesting. Maybe we'll do a second part of this next week as well, because this is phenomenal. I've never thought about this. I've had an idea since I was I don't know, like probably the actual idea came to me when I was working at a gambling company, because my friend told me about this machine learning, and I was like, "Oh wait, so you can basically set up an AI that will talk to you." It was like about 6 years ago, and I was thinking, okay, what if we set up an AI that will ask me questions every day, ask me a bunch of questions like, "Do you like this? Do you like that?" and go deeper and deeper, and then try it tries to figure me out, and then after like let's say 10, 20 years, maybe even 50 years, it learns and knows everything about me. It knows my values. It knows who I am to the core. And all it needs is actually just the visual representation and my voice, right? So if we get that, I am basically creating my own copy, and my loved ones can enjoy talking with me long after I'm dead. It can even potentially learn the way I learn and acquire new knowledge. So if it learns the way I acquire new knowledge, it can grow on behalf of me. What Miyai was saying was actually spot on. It can represent you because it is you. It is a copy of you. So it can go to work for you. Never next level of severance. Maybe we'll create. Let's do a show. Yeah, Rich. What's up?
Yeah, no, I can't emphasize how important it is. I mean, it's critical that, I mean, what will happen, especially with these AI bots, is the ability to to activate itself on a daily basis. And we have that ability to remind people of certain decisions, and not just, by the way, you have a dentist appointment. You're talking about mental integration. Is real key, that we all understand that as influencers and as leaders in the industry.
Yes,
And
sure.
AI, yeah, I mean, you have to be responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a key that we are responsible. Some say Web3 people are more responsible than Web2. I don't know. I don't know about that. Johnny, let's hear your take, and we can safely wrap, because unfortunately we are at the hour. Go ahead, Swade.
So no, I'll be quick. I heard meditations quoted, so I had to chime in. But Yeah, no, I think on the bull case for AI, I think it really has the potential to improve us as a people that are coexisting or cohabitating, whatever sort of euphemism you want to use. But it often sees blind spots that we're unable to, and I think when we speak to the AI based more on principles than kind of like specifics, we really don't have to worry a whole lot about the privacy issue because it's more of a broad-based approach, and I've found that very often the when I cue the creation of what I've embodied in the AI, which isn't necessarily 100% myself, but it's kind of something I aspire to. I very often can almost have a conversation with the person that I'm directing myself towards in growth and things like that. So I think that's great. And then with the musical aspect, having the ability to collaborate with yourself is there's all sorts of profound implications. I know that we're short on time here, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but there is a lot to be said for the ability for AI to give us an objective view of kind of how we're acting or how we're thinking, and seeing maybe some of the shortcomings of ourselves, and then giving a pathway to fix it, which is incredible because you try to look those things up in psychology today, and you can be reading all the papers on NAH and everywhere but in PubMed, but like that's something that a lot of people aren't going to do, and if they are, it's not always as specific as it needs to be. So I think there's a lot to be said for the kind of improvement of ourselves as our growth as people.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Um, I wish everybody could read Marcus Aurelius. Amazing, amazing guy. Um, yeah, and the fact that he didn't write it for specific purposes or for anybody to see is makes it even better. Um, AI layer. I think you had your hand raised next.
Yeah, I was just gonna. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. If anybody is considering reading meditations, get the correct interpretation. I believe it's Gregory. The other one is very hard to understand, so just get the right
Oh.
interpretation before you attempt.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Thanks for clarifying. That's extremely important for old texts. Thanks, Johnny. AI layer. Oh my God, we're hearing some bad feedback. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Oh,
AI layer. We're having
um,
some. Okay, now we can hear you.
yeah, sure. Um, I'm actually gonna say, regarding your AI learning your meme language, that really means a lot. It's learning the deepest parts of a personality. Like, do you laugh at your dad's jokes? They make you physically cringe. Are you into dark humor? Wholesome canaries content like that. I actually think personal AIs will track your reactions, not just when you share, but what makes you pause, what makes you screenshot, what makes you immediately scroll past. Yeah. Imagine your AI knowing you stress and so it send you cat memes instead of work related content. It knows you had a good day, so share the slightly HG meme when you're saving for the right moment. I said earlier, we are building systems where AI agents learn behavioral patterns, and humor is probably the most complex patterns there is. Because what's funny changes based on mood, the time, day, even when what happened to you that morning, it depends. But here's the crazy part though, your AI might start creating memes specifically for you, not generic ones, but memes that reference your inside jokes, your specific experience, your exact sense of humor, and sort of that. Yeah. They're not just personalization that's just your AI becoming you can be the writer, I say. Um let's see, is there a danger in your AI becoming an echo chamber, always waiting, always amplifying your biases? Absolutely. That is probably the biggest mistake with personal AI. If your AI only feeds you what you already believe, you stop growing, you become a more extreme version of yourself, which is honestly, I'll say, terrifying. Let's think about it. If your AI knows you lean left politically and only shows you left leaning content, or you're into crypto and it show you diamond and content, you lose perspectives. The best personal AI should be programmed to occasionally make you uncomfortable, not in a harmful way, but as a pacific way you haven't considered yet, like,
Mhm.
probably.
Well, yeah,
Your AI
but
should start
and then
promising.
but then sorry
So
to interrupt, but then we run into the issue of usability. People won't use it. Then you have to force people to use it because it makes them uncomfortable. Because I agree with you. If you are leaning, towards radicalism, you are more um susceptible to radicalism. The more
yeah,
radical you get, the more radical you get. So it's easier for you to like videos of more radical
yeah,
or videos or content that agrees with your ideology overall than to not like videos that don't agree with you, or like videos that don't agree with you, or watch videos that don't agree with you, and challenge your viewpoints. So it is a really interesting conversation. Let's discuss this next week as well. We are out of time. Unfortunately, I do need to cut this
yeah,
short.
sure.
I
Yeah,
apologize to
understand.
all the speakers, because I know all of you have amazing, amazing minds, and I would love to pick all of your minds. Um, let's come back next week, guys. With that being said, that is it for our space this week, and we do this every single week. Make sure to tune in next week. Thank you so much. Rich, anything you want to say before we close out the
Yeah, no,
space?
I just wanted to thank everyone. Sorry, I'm on holiday because I was really enjoying the conversation, and I was stuck in driving around St. Martin. So I think basically everyone should congratulate each other on the creativity and the business side of developing the AI tech that is out there. It's really a remarkable feat, and I think everyone should congratulate themselves and give
Yes,
give
sir.
uh, give yourself a pat
Oh,
on
we're
the
getting a
back
lot of wind
because
sounds, Rich. We can't hear you well.
oh,
Uh,
sorry about that, guys. Okay,
no
well,
worries,
let
no
me
worries.
let me sign off.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for everyone for joining. We'll be back next week as well as every week. Until then, enjoy your week, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.